The way it's spoken about in traditional psychology is part parts work. So from traditional psychology, if we have a trauma, let's say when we were four, we can fragment our consciousness, and then we have a 4-year-old aspect that's stuck, still seeing life from the perspective through that trauma lens of they have that aspect of us has beliefs about life that were created when we were four and protective mechanisms around that. And so in psychological psychotherapy work, the psychotherapist often will have you speak from that aspect in order to understand the beliefs that that aspect holds and gradually work through helping that aspect learn to trust again, learn to see things from a higher lens, release those belief systems, and then that aspect can heal and integrate and merge back with your adult self psyche. And so this can be the same on a soul level as well. We can have a timeline, an experience throughout our incarnations that is so abrasive, so shocking that an aspect of our soul can fragment. And then in this life, as we're doing our healing work and we're healing our inner child and we're integrating aspects, we might find that we have a soul aspect from another timeline that is still stuck, holding on to beliefs we couldn't even fathom that we had because of what happened at that timeline. And oftentimes it's connected to specific falls of consciousness that happened that really impacted everyone that was incarnated during that fall of consciousness. And as we go through and heal and integrate those and come back, we are restoring this inner divine union between our our oversoul parts, and we're becoming more and more congruent. We're embodying the wholeness that we already are, and healing and restoring the splits and the fragments within our soul body, within our psyche, within all parts of us. And that's why I mentioned sometimes I see Earth as this integration station where we come with one little ray of our soul. We develop this incarnate identity of who we think we are, what we've been projected by our parents and society. We have an awakening. We remember that soul piece, and then from that foundation, we start to gather all aspects of us throughout all time and space, so that we can embody what I call our authentic self or master presence, the fullness of who we are, and we start to braid in our higher dimensional selves into a congruent, singular, unified consciousness of who we are in our master presence. And I believe that we're all working on that. Even people who haven't awoken to their that they have a soul and to their deeper authentic nature, I feel like they're still on this field of integrating all they are. And oftentimes many people have sabotage patterns in their life that they just think, oh, this is how life is, or this is who I am, or this is what is. But it's not the case. It's just an imprint that's replaying itself, whether it's a protective mechanism, a limiting beliefs, an ancestral imprint, a soul level protective mechanism or pattern. And so we specialize in really tracking and resolving all of that so the aspects of ourself can integrate into our wholeness. We can embody more of our original blueprint before the falls of consciousness, which allows us to embody, emanate, vibrate at that original blueprint. The original blueprint, you can call it from the garden, like the heaven on earth, that which we're really meant to live and create and thrive with. It's within us. It's just parts of it have been shut down or overlaid or tampered with. And so the restorative process in our psyche, but also in our multidimensional field, restoring that allows us to become the the spiritual match for that heaven and earth timeline. When we restore it energetically on a spiritual level, and we clear out the things that need to be cleared out in the multidimensional field, in our psyche, our belief systems, the emotional body, the truth that is in our spiritual blueprint can start to vibrate into our emotional body, and we can start to feel how our spirit feels through the realm of eternal well-being. How does it feel to be in divine union with God's source and wholeness? How does it feel to be in a field of abundance where we've always had enough and surplus, we have surplus, and we will always have surplus, so we can always trust in that? How does it feel to always trust that divine love is not only within us, but is showing up in divine timing and order, and trust in that? How does it feel to vibrate that emotionally? And then what is the mental structure that aligns with the spiritual truth and the emotional vibration from that spiritual plane that's been restored? Well, the thoughts are, I trust in the divine timing. I choose what I truly desire, and I trust that it is being brought to me. And I align with the specific steps that I need to take to actualize everything in my heart. And my devotion is clear, and my focus is precise, and my courage is on point, and I am creating it, and I am living it, and I am ready, and I am empowered, and I am going to offer myself to this highest service, knowing that this highest service corridor is unlocking everything that I desire. And in fact, it's already been given in spirit. In spirit, I already have it. I'm already in divine union, not only with God, but my higher self, twin counterpart in the higher realms. And in the higher realms, I vibrate that frequency of divine union and prosperity and love. And I know that the secret to this union and the secret to the fulfillment of my deepest desires is who I am. It's already here like a river flowing. I don't need to do anything but surrender to the flow that I am, that is the secret key that unlocks the doors, that restores the fields and the abundant fields from the years the locusts have eaten, that restores the divine union template. I just have to come into the sacred place in my heart where that restoration is already so, and begin to bring that forth and sweep out the cobwebs and pull the weeds and be true to that and live from that and listen what is precisely needed to be done. And so this is a spiritual consciousness restoration process. And the beautiful thing about it is when we come into revelation of who we are and what we've been given, and we really receive it, it creates a deepening of humility, a deepening of awe, a deepening of reverence, a deepening of like, oh my God, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then the illusions and delusions and temptations that are here on this planet can't, and the limiting beliefs that are strongly vibrating from the collective consciousness, they can't hook into us and pull us and distract us and throw us off our true highest timeline. And that's one thing I want to bring up, is that on this planet there are, you call them Luciferian forces, false light temptations, these beings who have access to higher vibrational wisdom that to many appear as angels, and the wisdom that is in their books and teachings and everything appears as well. This is wisdom, yet it's 95% truth borrowed from the true organic wisdom timeline, infused with subtle lies designed to take you off your path and stray you and tempt you and hook into any leftover greed, lust, fear, scarcity. And we have to be very, very conscious and attuned and aware of these subtle temptations, traps, and tests that are in our life and in our field, coming through others, coming through ourselves. And where have we given into them? Where have we tried to create a little shortcut and take an opportunity or an offering or something that we know in our hearts is not actually what our higher self, God, wants for us? And how can we be really, really sober and present and honest with where that's happened, where that may be happening, and the commitment to resolve where it's happened throughout all timelines. So, in all timelines, all aspects of us that ever gave in to any temptation, to greed, to lust, to any other of these temptations in all timelines, how can we go back and rescue those parts of us? Teach all of them the lessons they need to learn, integrate and clear all the vows, agreements, spells, curses, contracts from all of that, bring them back home into congruent integrity so we can move forward with all parts of us in congruency and integrity and alignment with our higher self. This is fundamental, it's so crucial, and it's work that goes over most people's heads, even the ones that are on the spiritual path, because it's very, it takes a very fierce level of penetrative devotional commitment to pierce through time and space, to be able to go back and track all of our aspects and all timelines, and with a firm, dedicated conviction, decide to bring them all home into integrity and to become the father and mother for yourself. This is a requisite to entering into true divine union and exponential wealth according to your Aurora Earth, Heaven on Earth blueprint. There's many ways you can attract love. You can attract a lot of different types of relationships. You can create wealth in a variety of ways. However, what will it be tied to? Will it be tied to things that bring you true fulfillment in the end, or will it ultimately lead to looping and cycling and suffering and attachment to some kind of false light field? We want to support you each in attracting and manifesting everything that is true in your heart in such an organic, coherent, clear way that that which you receive in your life, you've received in spirit, and therefore what's showing up, there's no tethers, there's no cords, there's no give or takes, there's no selling of your soul, there's no hooks into the collective, there's no false light Luciferian trades. It's just pure and clean and coherent and brings you deep fulfillment and peace.